Okay, so concerning this this Friday move, we had this push, we came back and we went a little bit low. Even this morning on the open, it was going lower. And then we could take a long, and I went long and I posted it in the Twitter feed. So I went long this morning right here on this bottom, right there. So that's what we did. And I explained what I was seeing from the setup point of view. So we will go now on the setups because that's the important part to look at now and to see what we have on the setups to know where we go. Okay, so I'm just preparing this chart very quickly and I will share the screen of the setup so you can see it and we can discuss about it because that is the key. I mean, the way the strategy is working is we look for support and resistances at one point, and the second point is we look how price is, if he is exhausted, if he's ready for a turn or not. So let me change the screen I share now. This is screen 4. Okay. So now we look at the setup, and that's the reason why I am long and I went long and I will keep on going long. So if we look at this, you have here my indicator, which is the price 6, which is giving us the information on the health of the price action, on the health of the momentum. So when we have a green, it's a buy. When we have a red, it's a sell. And it's a dynamic indicator based on different indicators, part of not RSI, but Chandler or something like this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, what is important here is on the daily, we have that dynamic divergence. And the dynamic divergence is much stronger than any other divergence because it's a dynamic indicator. So it's much more precise than any other. I will tell you later about the indicator GG, if you don't mind, because I'm recording. So when we stop the recording, I can discuss about the questions. So here we have a dynamic divergence, and that's normally very powerful on the upside. Even if it would not say dynamic divergence, if we would go lower on this level here, we would still have a very strong signal day. So at the point of time we are speaking, always beginning of week, we look on the long-term thing. This is the monthly, okay? The monthly, very strong bullish signal, and that do not happen a lot. You see 2015, 2019, 2022. It's not something you see often. It's something that do not happen a lot. I repeat that. Concerning the weekly, you see same thing as a daily. We have a signal, so we have a monthly, we have a weekly, and we have a daily. That's not happening too often either. So here we have, or we could have, let me see it on the complete screen. There was a signal here, so it should not be a divergence, but with this signal we have a divergence, of course. Okay, so we have the monthly, we have the weekly, we go back to the daily, and we have the daily, and here, sorry, yes, and here we have this divergence that I was speaking about right here. So it's important. Monthly, weekly, daily. Then we know with those three things we have there, we know we have a strong tailwind with us, something that will push the price on the upside and that can make we see brutal excessive move on the upside. We can see bounce of 100, 200, 300 pips or something like that very fast. So that's what is telling us this thing. The other thing is telling us this setup with everybody long is that the right side is to be long, not to be short at this time. Doesn't mean we can't go lower. It just means we have much better risk reward on the upside than on the downside. That's clear. And when you have that on the monthly, we are speaking about several thousand pips. Then, like usually, we look at what we have on the inside, on the smaller time frame. So the 4 hours is in the middle of nowhere. We are inside a long signal that started with this long here. You see the arrow, the cross, and which started with this long signal. So at this time, we had the 1 hour, we had the 4 hour and the daily, and we went up, which is one of the bounds we catch. Now we are here. So this one is the middle of nowhere. We had this long setup this morning. That is when I took the long. So this one started at 2 o'clock till 6 o'clock this morning, 6 o'clock my time, which is like 4 GMT. And with a 15-minute confirmation here, that's when I took this trade. So just to finish with this trade, then I was looking at the 15 minutes. And what I did, I had the 15-minute, which is the signal we just saw. I had the indicators ready, and I had it on the 5-minute at the same time right here. You see? Green, green, ready on the volume short term with the 7 period. So it was a no-brainer. And that's why I took this long, which already paid 35p or something like that. So the day is done for me. Now, let's go and look at this one. So this chart is showing only the volume exhaustion indicator. And this one is telling us how was or how is the volume on all the time frame. So same thing. On the monthly, the volume indicator is very bullish. It's very low. You see it here, okay? On the weekly, we're in the middle of nowhere. On the daily, as well as the price 6, we are low. On the 4 hours, we are, I'm just coming back here. On the 4 hours, we have gone a little bit lower. Okay, so I don't know who is the last one that came in. Jenny, probably. So I'm muting all. Okay, I hope if you have sound with somebody that is putting trouble, you let me know and then I block it. It will be easy. So we have this one, and this one was showing this morning the same thing, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 1 hour, everybody was going up. So we have the tailwind, and now whenever we will have the volume low and this indicator, so when this setup, when I will say we have the 5 minute, it means this one will be ready, this one will be lower, and we will have a green signal and the 15 minute at the same time. Then we will have another push. So what can we say about this morning move? This morning move, we have seen some momentum behind it. And the reason is what I just explained with the indicator, the price exhaustion and the accumulation of fuel behind us. So we have that. That will continue. We can look lower and we will see where we could look lower. But at the end, we will always see a takeoff. That's what will happen in the next days and hours. Now, let's look at Dixie. So concerning Dixie, we will do the same. I am just getting the chart ready. I am switching on the other chart now, sharing the Dixie chart, which is screen 1. Okay, let's go. So now you see the Dixie chart. Okay, what happened with Dixie inside this weekend? So you remember big trend line that we broke the daily, we broke through, came back inside the area, went down again, went back a second time in this area, then we created the second inside trend line. I don't use a lot trend line, as you know, very, very little, only in those cases when we have a kind of move and we break that trend or that move for a time. So we broke this one and we came back inside the second trend line, which is what happened on Friday again. We had the touch last week on the 23rd here, and then we did it again on Friday. So this morning, so that's what happened on Friday. We had this bounce, which was the pullback on the Euro USD. And you see that's exactly on the 1140 fib. Inside fib here, we have in between this 188 fib. So this one is important. I already spoke about this one a lot in the last days. I still think we can touch this one, which means I still think we can look a little lower on the Euro USD, and we have everything to know where we would stop. So this move is, in my opinion, not over yet. We should touch ideally this 109.75. But I'm not waiting to touch it because price could very well stop in just before and turn back. Okay, if we would break this one, then we go to the 78.6 retracement, and then I would update this chart because I would need more information in between here to know where we would stop. But that's where we are now. So what we have done this morning, we went inside the second trend line area, we pulled back from the 88.6 inside field, and now we are touching back this last big swing 76.40 retracement, and that's where we have bounced. We can look lower, and then we would come back to the same area we have been looking for a long time. You see how many times it has been reacting, and that could be a good thing. We would come back here, bounce another time, and then look lower. I already said that many times, but till the 10th of September, more or less, it's not the date or the 9th. Let me check the thing here. So you see here, the end of month is on Wednesday. So we will see a lot of action before that, but we can still see some more push on the upside of Dixie till more or less this area. That's what I think. So if we look at September, we could, oh Jesus, sorry, I have to stop this. Okay, so I have submit, so I will report this person, of course. Okay, so I reported this one. I'm sorry for what happened. I think it was some trouble. Are you still here, everybody? Gigi, Jonathan, are you listening? Is it okay? Do you have sound? Okay. Okay, great. Okay, and there was not too many problem with this guy that was showing this picture. There was no noise. You didn't hear some noise from him. You could listen well. Please let me know when you can, because I didn't see or hear anything. Great, fantastic. So we keep on with the Dixie. So as I said, we can come back in this area by this date in September, and that's what could happen. Sorry, I lost what I was saying. So I think we will see probably a definitive turn from now anytime till here, more or less, between the 9th and the 15th. But I think this week should stop, and we should see a turn before this area. That's what we usually see after August moves or summer moves. So we have seen this big USD move on the upside in the summer, and since the war, by the way, we have seen acceleration in summer, and now we know where we are. We look for this one potentially, but whenever we have a short setup, we play it because we have the tailwind that I just spoke about. Now we come back to the Euro USD, which is the one we started with, and we will look what are the level we are looking for. So concerning the Euro USD on the downside, let me take this chart, I prefer it. So this morning, as I said, you see now how nice are the support and resistances. I started here long, I banked on the way, and then I banked some more here, right on this 50% fib for 37 pips, if I'm not wrong. Now, what can we see from the price action? If we look at this one, let me take off this clock. If we look at this one, for now, that tells me we have a low here, right on the 78.6 fib. We came back, but we didn't touch this low. We came back again today. We didn't touch this low again, okay? Neither on Friday. So I think this is Friday, yes. And no, this is today. So on Friday, we stopped. We can look at the Friday close, by the way, we didn't. So it was above. That's another important thing I didn't spoke about this morning. If you see the open close on Friday is still above this 50% fib. Since we came above it, this and that, which is Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they all open closed above this 50% fib, which is good. The other thing we have not done, and that would complete that ABC down, which is the red ABC, is to tag this 71.8 here, which would be at the same time the same area of the 78.6, which would correspond probably to the one-to-one extension of the Dixie, if you follow me, if I'm not going too fast. So any move down here can see a bounce. Any move down with setup can see a bounce. This one and that one, I already spoke about it in many occasions, but those two fibs are very strong and they will provide a very good reaction. That is sure, because those one are the ABC, the quarterly ABC down. So it's the blue one you see here, just to refresh your mind. It's that ABC, I put it in Aiki-Nashi, A, B here, and C. So we have struggled on the 61.8 since 2016. That has been a really strong level. I already said all that, but I like to repeat because it's nice to see the long picture, the big picture again. And we are now looking probably for the 76.40, 78.6 area right here. We stopped a few pips above it. If you look here, we are not far from it now, a few pips. So this is the area I think that could be probably the bottom for the Euro USD when we would land there. But this bottom can happen anytime. Anytime ECB will put some headline and say, we will do this and that, and they will push it up because they need to push Euro USD higher to solve a little bit of the inflation weight. So they will do something that is 100% clear. So they will do two things, hike rates and make as many headlines as possible that could be bullish to help the recovery of the Euro USD. So my opinion is on the quarterly basis, and the end of the quarter is the end of September, we should have closed back above that very long-term 61.8 fib, which is this blue fib here, of that quarterly ABC down. In that case, we would post a failed break under the 61.8. We would have touched the 78.6 or 76.40 here, which means then we could see a really nice run on the upside. And at least as soon as we would be above the 61.8, then the next target would be the 50% at 107.91, let's say, to make it simple, at 108. And then so on, we would be at 112.20, and so on the 23.60, 117, etc., etc. So we have everything here, absolutely everything. Let me go back on the regular candles and on this 4-hour chart. We have all what we need to enter long, but it's important to keep that in mind. Those red daily ABC down, weekly ABC down, and the monster blue quarterly ABC down that has been holding the price very nicely in the past, together with this retracement fib here, which is the 78.6 fib. Okay, so that's all the very big thing we have, together with the order block here. This is a big quarterly order block, so the bottom of this order block can hold the price. We have here an inside 76.40 fib, and the big mama that is coming there for the next day. So that's what we have. I did switch the chart, didn't I? Yes, you are looking at the Euro USD. No, I was scared you didn't saw. So you saw everything about the Euro USD, right? Can you just post on the chat to make sure that you have seen the explication with the chart on the Euro USD. So that's where we are. We pull back right now from the 50%. And this one too, what we see here is interesting, because if we pull back from there and we look lower, it means the magnet is this one here, just above the 7640. So when we would arrive on the 7640 feed, if we get there, which I think is likely, but I will not play any short now on the Euro USD. So if we would, you still see Dixie. What's that? You should not. Oh, Jesus. I think I made it wrong. So let me start again. Can you see the Euro USD now? I made a mistake. I kept the same chart. So you should, okay, great. So I start again. I will make it a little bit faster. So the very important thing where I started from is this quarterly ABC down, the blue one, this blue ABC. You see it here, okay. Why? Because this monster quarterly ABC down, I put Fibonacci candle, you see it here, you have the A, the B, and the C here. So this one has provided us everything. Look how it has held the price on the 50%. Look how, even if it didn't hold here, it has, after it was created, we have reacted very well on the 2360 feet there. And more important than anything else, look how the 61.8 has been holding before it was created, so it has no sense, but it's a very important place. We have the 61.8 right on this low, and we have been holding it, we bounced from it, we broke through it. So what I was saying is, I think we will post on the quarterly base a phase breakout of the 61.8, touching the 7640, 78.6 fib here, and probably close above it before the end of September. That's what I'm looking at, okay? So now, if we go a little bit more inside it, on a daily basis, for example, we saw that it's important. So we have the blue one, which is the quarterly, and the red one, which is the weekly down. Blue one, quarterly, red one, weekly down, big weekly ABC down. So this 61.8 of the quarterly has been holding the price twice, and then we broke through it, and it's already holding the price in 2016. So it's a very important support. And what I think is we could very well close above there before the end of September, which is not bad, because that would be, I think we would start from a little lower, but that would be, let's say, a 500 pips move. So we could very well see 400, 500 pips move on the upside of the Euro USD inside September, or in the 3 last week of September. So the other thing I pointed out, and you didn't have the chart at this time, is those three close here: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. All of them has closed above the 50% for now, which suggests, we could suggest, sorry, that we could do the same again today, which means go wherever and close back above it. So a close above 0.9950 more or less, and this is the level here, 0.9951 exactly. So close above this one is possible today. The thing is, today we have no London people, and we have only US trader. And US trader will keep on doing what they do always, which is buy USD as soon as they wake up. And they will buy it now, later, but they will buy it. You see the Euro USD is already pulling back because everybody has played this turn back. If you look at it on a 15-minute. So we went long here this morning. We touched this one. I didn't want to be long short here because I want now to focus on the long side. Even if it pays well, it's okay, it's fine. They make money, I make my money. But I want to focus on that. I don't want to lose myself inside long, short at this level, because I want to be really focused. If we come back here, what could happen now this week or today, perhaps, is first we would get a double bottom in this area, because due to what all I explained already, we have a strong upside setup. So now we will need to be more careful, because we see we have the momentum back with the US traders or the sellers are working in automatic mode. But as soon as we will get back there, we will see the setups will get ready, and then we will have some strong support to play with. Remember now, London market is closed mostly. Mostly everybody is on holiday, bank holiday. So any people who are inside the market know they can move the market easily with little money, and that's what they are doing right now. They move the market easily with little money and without US trader already there. So that's why you can see even a move doing something crazy this morning before noon European time. So let's see what we get. But all the lower touch on levels with the setup, I will buy them, I will buy them, and I will buy them. So in this area, we have a very strong area with all the levels I just picked. You have here the quarterly 76.40. You have the ABC down of the 61.8. So this one here, this area here will be for sure very, very, very reactive. All this area we will see, and here I can tell you I will go double or triple size on this trade. Okay, so we have in the middle other things here. We have this order block bottom there. So we have a lot of things where we can use and that we can rely on, and from there we will see a reaction. So for now, that's all. We have seen Dixie. We have seen we are right now on Dixie on the FIB. You can look at it again, and you have the chart because I posted the same chart this morning. Now, what do we have? If we look live after recording, how you determine the price is exhausted. I will do that. I will do that. I will let you know, Gigi and even John, if you want to listen to the following part where I will explain that very clearly. So if I look at the setup right now, and I will do that for you, share. Okay, I go to the screen number 4. Okay, so we share it. So what do we see here? And that's what we start to speak about, and then I will stop the recording. But what do we see here? We see the 7 period is not ready yet. It should be in this area for a long, especially on a 5-minute time frame. So if the momentum is very strong on the upside, then I look at the 3 minutes, and you see, oh, look, that 3 minutes we had a signal. So what I would have done probably, if I would have a support or whatever, something here, I would have, let me check at this thing there. No, there is nothing. So I would have taken a long there to add something, but I have already enough. So from the bottom, so I don't want to take risk. But you see, this 3 minutes is reacting. When the smaller time frame, like 3 minutes, not 5, it's 3 now, I change it, is reacting, it means we have still some momentum behind. But for now, we wait for the 5 minutes. The 5 minutes could happen on this. This is a traditional pivot point. So this is the S1 here. So we could perhaps touch this S1 and bounce from it if we take the lows, which is not necessarily going to happen. But we would need this 5 minutes to be lower, and this 7 period and the 14 period of the 5 minutes to be lower together with the signal on the pricing. So that's what I use to gauge the momentum. But I will stop the recording now, and we will speak about that. Stop recording.